Okay. What's up, guys? What up, Sam? Welcome, bro. TikTok might end soon, I heard. Yeah. Graveworth. Thank you, Graveworth. All right, we're going to finish this thing pretty quickly. We're pretty much done. I'm just going to have to finish Lucy is coloring, fix it up because it's very, you know, it's not balanced. It's not spread out properly yet. And then probably do some of these lines around Senbai and any of the like painterly looking edges that I got going on here, and just clean it up around, and that's it. It's gonna be pretty quick, so let's get into this. Let's see where we're on. Right now we got to focus on the coloring aspect, so we'll get the fingertip tool, and all I'm gonna do is spread out the color that's already there. Okay, hold on a sec. A little bigger. Okay. So let's go ahead, fingertip tool, we're good. What up, Skeleton? Thank you, Sam, as always. Sam, the OG. Welcome, guys. put some music on for you guys. Oh, hold up. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate you. What up, Nesh? Welcome back. Let me see if I missed any comments. Yes, sir. We back. Yes, ma'am. We back. Or miss, I should say miss, right? Ma'am is used for older people. Miss is for younger. I don't know. I call everybody, you know, sir, guys. I have to fix my vocabulary when it comes to addressing people. And I was a waiter at Olive Garden a long time ago. I would always just be like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" They would be like, "We're not guys. Why are you calling us guys?" Dang, great sir, I respect you. Thank you. Hello. Respect you too, brother. Keep pushing, bro. Thanks. I will be like you soon, dude. Be better. Be better. Do your best. Be better than me. You know. Whenever you pick someone that you want to be better than, I mean, or when you say you want to be as good as them, the better thing to do is say, I want to be not only as good as them, but I want to even go beyond. I want to be even better than them. So that's like, think of it like this: people who dedicate their skill, their time to really bringing something special together that they believe in, they put their heart and soul into something. They have spent a lot of hours, a lot of days refining and fixing that thing and trying to bring it to this higher level. Um, and for people who want to do that too, and when they pick out a teacher or someone they look up to, the best thing you can do is say, out of respect, I want to even be better than you. So you learn, and then you also try to keep in mind that you can be better and you can go beyond. So you always have that door, you know, to open. Thank you, Nesh. So, if you're, for example, trying to be a basketball player and you really like Michael Jordan or Kobe or whoever, right? I don't really keep up with too many sports, to be honest. But you look up to them and you want to be like them one day, right? Your goal shouldn't be just to be like them. It should be even beyond that. It should be, I want to be better than them. I want to be as good and better. And what you do, what you're allowing yourself to do is you're allowing your desire, which is your will, to expand beyond your ego's limits, your mind's perspective on how far you can go. So it's really important that when you're trying to do anything and you pick someone that you feel you can learn a lot from and you want to be like, to be even better than them, to try to be even better. All right, that's enough. That's enough of Dr. Phil Ash comics here. Mr. Miyagi, Ash Comics. You must be better. Wax on, wax off. Daniel-san! More people want to see this because 25 man shift. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Okay. Get the pen tool. I think that'll be easier to just put down the color. The real G pen. Let's see. So when you use the paint tool, especially the oil paint tool, it kind of blends with whatever you have already on the canvas. But going over it with the pen tool, the real G pen tool in Clip Studio, because I think the G pen tool, the regular one, it won't work for some reason. It won't put the color down if you're working on a colored layer. At least that's my understanding. I might be wrong. But this works. So I'm just trying to put a more intense, sharper color shape for this lightning streak in her hair. And then we gotta go and kind of cut around that a little bit. Get rid of these dull edges, these faded edges. So if you use the fingertip tool, you get to choose whatever color that you put down on the canvas, and you get to push it around like your fingertip. But if I were to keep just moving this color down like this, it's so let's say I chose this. I'm choosing this red. I'm clicking this red actually. So I'm actually moving the red around. But what happens is I'm actually pushing it out and allowing this other color to kind of come through, which is I don't want to do that because I'm trying to fill it up. Maybe have a little bit of that white at the edge to kind of make it pop. But what you want to do if you want to move a specific color around and not drag it and have other colors overtake it is you want to kind of click on top of it every time you're moving it. So like right here, I'm going to click. I'm going to move this kind of faint red, pink, white looking thing right here, this looking color. I keep lifting it, moving it. I'm not just dragging it down the whole time. And so this is going to allow me to rapidly spread the color without creating any like hard color shapes that are going to stick out. Right? And I could put all that color in the correct place, move whatever I need to move around. It's too white. Let's actually add more red. Spread this out. So you're pushing the mud. Think of it like you're pushing colorful mud, colorful sand. And you're like trying to find those edges that you can create. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, leave that on. Okay, let's move on. If it's too big, I'm going to shrink it. Thank you for the heart, Sir Brewski. More like you have to get an update. There is one in the store. I never use the G Pen because don't tell me. Yeah, the G Pen does look kind of too round, but I'm just kind of going off of the line work I already have, and I'm cutting the edges. So any like round edges, which I just found one right here, I'm gonna go to the layer where I put the line art in, and I'm just gonna sharpen it to a point. Just tweak it a little. It's not necessary, but it helps get rid of that. Like you see here, I found another one. See, once you open that door, you start finding all these little round edges. So let me erase some of that as well. Okay, let's just not. Okay, we'll leave it alone. Let's go back to coloring. Focus on the colors. So the fingertip tool is super clutch. Super clutch. It gives it a painterly look, and you can like blend what you have kind of just by pushing things around. And it really saved me a lot of time because I would be putting layers, blending the edges of those colors. Now I'm like, nah, I just need the fingertip tool, and I go in with the colors already put down. Changed my life, really. Okay. I see this is too dark. Let's actually get a more saturated. Okay, and I could just put a little bit down and get the fingertip tool. And now I could actually push it out. And I'm pushing through all the sort of messy traditional artwork I had below. And it reads it as a color. And so it allows me to use that and create like a unique blend of, light, dark, and middle colors, along with my base color for these things. So the base color being like what is there directly without any light or shadow. And I guess you'd say this is like a turquoise. She's supposed to have a little more bluer than greener, to be honest. So I'm gonna have to actually go over it a little more. Maybe add some hint accents of blue. Switch over. Back to J. Uh-oh. Shrink the fingertip tool. It's too big. Okay. So I'm just pushing it all into the lines where I need it. Getting rid of all these dark shadows of color. Pushing it in. And then I'm redistributing that color around. And if I need to put more of it, just hit the right click, get the paint tool again, and I drop a little bit right here, a little bit right here, a little bit right here, a little bit right here. Then I go with the fingertip tool, try to push through all that muddy color. And I'm not trying to, I want to be accurate, but I'm not really worried about that because I could just push it around again. And I think we need a little more intenser color. Oh no, it went out of the edges. Oh, no problem. Fingertip tool, push it in. Pushing whatever I find into the right spot. Okay, let's actually take some of this over here. Let's plant it over here. Now we're gonna kind of push out all the colors that are not supposed to be there. How long you been drawing manga? I've been drawing it, well, manga, honestly, when I first started drawing, it wasn't actually for manga. Originally, I was into like video games, but not just like any video game. I was more into like story-driven video games, especially like RPGs, JRPGs. Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and I wanted to tell a story through that medium, but I didn't know how to even go about that. I discovered manga later on when I was in junior high, One of my friends, he stole a book, a manga from like the local bookstore, and it was the Death Note. And I was so amazed because this was like the first time I really saw a manga and understood it as something foreign, and that it's all from pretty much one author and artist, but typically one author who's the artist and the writer. And I read that Death Note. I was like mesmerized by it. Its art, its storytelling, and how it was just something that it was this guy's little world that he created, and he was just directly able to tell you the story without any extra stuff other than just drawing and writing. And that really stood out to me. I was like, wow, that's freaking dope. So I started to really see manga in that light where like, oh, I want to make manga. Before it was just like drawing cool characters. Yeah, anime, I saw it. Um, and it was cool and all. And I wanted to have like a story to tell just like through an anime as well. But what really made me go to the manga route and to do a manga was that experience I had with Death Note. And I read it, it was so good. And from that day, I started to kind of really develop my characters and story instead of for a video game, for comics, for manga. And I wouldn't draw like stories. I was more of a writer, and I would just draw the characters. It wasn't until probably when I started really getting into manga and reading One Piece and Naruto and all that, that I started to do my own little thumbnails when I was a kid. And so I would do thumbnails of the story, and then I would try to draw it up on regular paper and see if that's the right shot and like tell the story as is. Does the story make sense? This chap, you know? I kept doing that, and that kind of led to storyboarding naturally. And so I started to really get dedicated to like getting better at art, and uh, it just kind of fused together naturally. And so I was ultimately going in that direction for, I would say, at least the past 10 years, but it really started like 15 years. But it wasn't ever anything professional. It was always just like me working at the craft, trying to figure out how to tell my stories while I'm working on this big story, like a big story world and all that stuff. Naruto was my favorite, my first manga I got next to Otoman. Never heard of that. Oh, okay. Video head, Life of Me Too. Oh, really? I just knew anime by family, into DBZ. My oldest cousin was into DBZ. He's a grandpa now. Wow. Grandpa, that's amazing. Wow, I'm old, man. For me, I didn't really know what anime was because I always saw it as cartoons, especially when like Four Kids was around back in the day. We had like Saturday morning cartoons, and that was actually the first time I saw manga, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, One Piece. But I didn't know that's what it was. I just thought it was like a cool new cartoon that I would always like. I would look forward to seeing those cartoons rather than the American ones. I didn't know it was American and Japanese. I just, that's what I as a kid was drawn to because it made storytelling feel more grown up. Like the animation, the cartoon aspect to feel like it was more mature, and there was like more consequence that wasn't something that you would see in like Mummies Alive or fucking uh, what else was there on Saturday cartoon? Jackie Chan Adventures. Those were more episodic. You get me? They weren't really. They're cool. Don't get me wrong, man. That they were dope, but and they still are amazing. But they weren't really like grand stories. Like with characters that are facing a whole world system, or like, and it's just them and their friends. Like One Piece or like the Final Fantasy games I was into as a kid. It was mostly Jackie Chan. Here's another adventure of the week, and yeah. So I was just kind of naturally drawn to that more, especially how like they really had a unique style for their worlds. And I was always around it, but I just didn't even know it until later on in life that, oh, this stuff is from Japan. This is coming from one dude or one girl who made the story and the art. Oh, whoa, what is this? Amazing. Sign me up. Hold on, guys. I gotta put the fan on. It's really hot in here. Give me a second. I'm gonna get some water and I'll be right back. All right, yalla. See you guys. I'm back. Sorry, guys. Thank you, Ricky. Uh, DBZ, oldest cousin with two friendships. Naruto got me into hardship and like Astro Boy. Yeah, Naruto has definitely, especially part one Naruto. Like there was a lot of um, like Rock Lee, his backstory. Like that was crazy, bro. His backstory, like you feel so bad for him, and you're like, damn, bro, you want him to win. He's the underdog, 100% the underdog. And low key, he's one of the best, if not the best character written in that story. But from just like a character story standpoint. But later on, don't even get me started. They didn't do my boy justice. They didn't give him justice. Just say that. Okay. Big eyes. Yeah, big eyes. I might shrink him. I was kind of messing around with the other character. So his eyes aren't as big. His eyes I shrunk. His eyes I shrunk. Maybe I might shrink him. I don't know. I'm gonna play with it. It is definitely huge. Might be a little too big. But let's focus in on wrapping up this color, making sure it's spread out properly. I'm gonna add some just to kind of quicken the process. Over it. The paint tool. Okay, and then we're gonna go with the fingertip tool and make that spread out a little bit so it doesn't stand out so much. Super clutch tool. It gives that painterly look with very minimal effort. Just push in the mud. Discord? You have a YouTube or Twitch? Yeah, brother. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Ash Comics 13. I'm everywhere on Ash Comics 13. Um, I don't have a personal Discord, but I do have a Discord that is for the public, for anybody to join. If you guys are making a manga specifically, or if you're just an artist or a writer, that's just like a creative little Discord that people share knowledge with. More so on manga and comic stuff, but it's called Hyperbolic Manga Chamber. People that are really cool. I need to check on it. I always say, and I feel bad. I have a bad habit of not kind of keeping up people and just get sucked into the work and the deadline that I have for myself. But I need to like pay them a visit and like share what I've learned, share my progress. Because they're dope people on there, man. Dope people. And they're all doing their own manga. They're all at different levels in their journey, and they all are sharing with each other. Like one of the things I always try to tell people that come in, I ask them, okay, what's your project you're working on? If you're working on a manga, what's your manga? I'll ask them, can you summarize it in one sentence? Can you tell us the title and summarize it in one sentence? And that's a good way to kind of help people break down the core of their story, the core of their manga, comic, or project even, um, and to really focus it in, and so other people can know, oh, this guy's doing this story right here. He's doing a secret agent kind of story. Oh, okay. It really it kind of works that muscle, forces you to really distill your manga, or your comic, or your story. And so I always ask, okay, well, if you're working on a comic, can you try to bring it down to one sentence? And then after you do that, you know, you have that little sentence that you're really happy with, that log line it's called. That becomes super useful for sharing your story to other people very quickly and very smoothly. I can't hear you from the music. My bad, my bad. Is it better like that? Is it linked? I think there's a link. It's called Hyperbolic Manga Chamber. It's open to anybody. It's not a private one. It might look like Rukia. It looks good though. Naruto. Who had? Oh, Rock Lee was written good in my opinion in the beginning, but it might look like Rukia, or she gives off the vibe. Oh, okay. So she has a really strong sense of justice, but she has a naive sense of truth in the world. She thinks the good guys are actually the good guys, and the bad guys are actually the bad guys. At least the mainstream, like what exists out in the story. So she's super diehard cloud agent. She believes in the cloud. She believes they're there to help humans and fairy tales live in peace, and she has a good heart. But on her first mission to Imp Island, when she was sent with Soccer and Senbai to do a boring, super tedious survey mission where they gotta just check the inhabitants of the island and make sure that, just do a population count essentially of what's there, and so the cloud could have records on them, because that island is situated in something called the Dead Triangle, where none of their typical technology works, and they kind of have to go old school to like get information on it. So when she went to Imp Island for her first mission, beyond the newborn city, uh, they found out that the island imps were being forced to mine this dangerous soul capturing mineral or ore called spirit stana. And it was this demon mafia called the Akanami Mafia that had subjugated them to this. And because of that, because this is like one of the four major fairy tale mafias that kind of has huge parts of the new world that they kind of are low key dominating over, and so the cloud has to kind of deal with them, and make deals that in order not to start a war, she wasn't allowed to help. She's like, no, you have to let them do that, and we got to send other people to come deal with this because you guys are just rookies. And the whole night, because there's no way the cloud was just ignoring these imps cries for help, right? Because they were receiving the there's like this SOS message device that every king of a country has, or of an island even. And so someone gave, I'm not gonna say who gave it to him, but gave Papa Imp, which is like the imp, the head imp guy of the island, gave him the SOS device to be like, okay, if you get run into any trouble, press this button and we'll be there. And he's been pressing it for the past 3 years since his people got enslaved, and he supposedly abandoned them, right? Um, and so he's just been kind of pressing that, um, and it's supposed to go through no matter what. And T-Bone, he tells Lucy, he's like, no, it should have gone through. There, the reason they didn't help, he doesn't go into it because he doesn't want to give the cloud a bad name, but because they don't know about the spirit staying them on the island. They don't really know anything about the island too much, about its resources, and if it's going to be useful for the cloud to even help them out. You know what I'm saying? So it was just ignored the whole time. It was just ignored for 3 years, and Lucy having to hear the news like, hey, this is beyond our pay grade, by T-Bone, and he says like, you guys, we got to go back and we got to just tell the chief and inform them. She knew that, oh, if they've been doing it for 3 years trying to get help, there's no way they're gonna freaking help now. You're just abandoning these people, basically, these imps. So she snuck out in the middle of the night, and she went on the island alone to see what's going on and to see if she can help them, try to save as many as she can. So that's the kind of person she is, right? She doesn't know about that the peoples that are supposed to be good on paper, like actually there's just selfish interest really that's there, and that it's not this, this sort of like, oh yeah, we're 100% the good guys all the time, every time. Um, and she put herself in danger and everybody around her low key, by trying to help those imps. So that's Lucy. I don't think Rukia would really do something like that. I think Rukia would be more reserved or something. But Lucy, at this point in the story, she's a rookie. She's like a little pawn, a little like, foot soldier, basically. Very weak compared to the people who should have been able to receive that transmission, that SOS, and go and help them. And the Akanami Mafia, like, they're no joke. Like, I mean, the bad guy in that arc is kind of a joke, low key. His name, he calls himself Big D, and it's not what you think. He's just a fat devil guy, and he doesn't even know that by calling himself that he's kind of like putting himself down. But low key, he for him, he wants to be like a trapper, and he wants his older brothers in the Akanami family. He's a royal from the royal part of the Akanami Mafia, the family. He just wants his brothers to like actually respect them, and like his dream was always to do music and rap, but he's got to do his job at the same time. And so he's like, oh yeah, my brothers will respect me after I enslave these freaking imps and make them get this precious spirit stain them, so we can make all these crazy weapons, and like, you know, it'd be a big win. They'll respect me so much. So he's kind of trying to get the approval of his siblings, his older siblings. And then he has the real bad guy in this arc. The actual like menacing threat is his royal guard, Draco. And this guy, he has a blood calling, a blood based calling, not blood bending, but blood manipulation calling. And he's able to also acquire a taste of your powers and stuff like that through getting some of your blood. He's extremely dangerous. Like I can't tell you how what it took to defeat him for these rookies to even stand a chance against him, but I will say that it took everything on the island to make sure like this guy got put down. And even then, it wasn't it wasn't certain. That's all I'm gonna say. So and that guy's a real threat. He's actually um, a silver. I would say he's in terms of his power. He's probably around Kogan's strength, maybe a little less than Kogan because Kogan has an OPS calling ability. It's kind of broken. So um, just came from Instagram. What up, CN? I'm trying to join that Discord, man, but I already forgot the name. It's called the Hyperbolic Manga Chamber. Like hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z, but instead of time, it's manga. Hyperbolic manga chamber. How many chapters are you wrote down? I have, in terms of dialogue, rough draft dialogue. I'm at chapter. What does it say? Chapter chapter 12 in terms of dialogue. In terms of the panel wording, like what's going to happen in the story beat to beat without the dialogue, I'm on chapter 16. And then in terms of the story scripting and the outline, that sort of immediate impression. Because what I like to do is have an outline, and then I use that outline to kind of just improvise, spontaneously create the whole chapter, and keeping in things in mind, like, oh, I had this seed planted over here back then. I'm gonna try to harvest it here in this part of the story, or I'm gonna plant seeds here because this is gonna happen later. So all those things I'm taking into consideration. That's what the outline is really useful. It allows me to kind of review, but then when it comes to the actual page to page, it's very spontaneous. It could actually completely go off the outline in a totally different. Whatever's the most interesting is what I'm looking for. And so when it comes to those, I call those story scripts. I'm on chapter 19. But in terms of the whole story, and like I know exactly what happens and how the arc flows for the whole story, that I'm already like aware of. I know where I'm going. That's end of series, I would say. So the actual production of it, with comics, you're especially if you're writing it as well as drawing it, you have to think about it like a reverse pyramid. Like they had to build a sort of reverse pyramid underground in order to put the pyramid on top of it, right? I mean, who knows if that's true or not? I heard this somewhere. The idea is before the pyramid was even made, there was a pyramid that they had to build underneath, right? Just so it could like level out or some shit like that. I don't know. That's probably not true though. Like fucking aliens probably did that shit. Who knows? Or jinn or demons or whatever you want to call them. But there's a lot of preparation work that goes into before you even ever touch the first chapter of like inking and finishing it and doing it. If you're attacking it chapter to chapter, you're gonna end up like meandering and going off in a totally different direction, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's like creating a comic at the edge of your seat. It's not the same as creating a comic, as writing a novel, right? Because there's like people who write stories that are able to just write, and create the whole story, and without an outline or without anything, they just write it out. And you can do that with novels, you can get away with it. But with comics, it requires way more resources because you're writing it, and you're drawing it, and you're not just drawing it. We're talking designing it and doing this. There's so many jobs, so many hats you're wearing that there's no space for just jumping in. I'm gonna make a comic, a legendary comic that's gonna be span 1,000+ chapters, and it's gonna be freaking epic and all this deep. No, you need to actually break it down to where you know the different processes that need to go into getting to your first pages. You know what I'm saying? It's so important that you build that pyramid beneath before you start just jumping in and start producing the series. You know, a lot of planning goes into this. I need this to be brighter. This to be brighter. This to be more intensely saturated. It's too dark. It's too dark. You know what? I could just put that actually there. Don't even need to spread it around. Just need to have a little bit of that intense red there. Push this out. Ooh. Okay, then let's actually add some light. Lighter colors. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay, let's get the fingertip tool. I'm trying to join that Discord, man, but I already forgot the name of. Is this an old comment? I think it is. Can the link somewhere? Okay. Give me 1 second. Discord, where you at? Discord. What up, Cometh? Hello. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna link it for him. Invite. Copy link. All right, dude. I'm gonna put it in the Instagram CN for you. CN, I put it in the Instagram. If you're still here, check the Instagram chat. Its link is in the chat. Okay, let's keep going. Blend. This gotta get wider. Okay, let's knock this out, bruh. Too long. Still got a lot of pages to do. Oops. Cool. 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 Oops. How's it hanging? What up, Crimzot? It's going good. Going good. We're almost done, right? We finally almost done. We finally here. We reached the top of the mountain. We're almost there. Okay. A little bit of shine. Push it back. Cool. Last thing, I wanted to add a little more blue to her hair. It's too teal looking. It's gotta be kind of turquoise. That means blue. And we're gonna see if we want to shrink her eyes a little bit because it looks kind of too big to me. Sort of accent of blue. Why is it freaking going all over the place, bruh? There we go. Oh no, my phone's dying. TikTok, you might just abruptly end. Oh shit, it's not charging. Oh, it's not charging. Why is it not charging? Hold on a sec, guys. I don't know what's going on. 2%. Oh no! Oh, that's why it's not even. Power was off. Don't die on me. TikTok, my end randomly. Oh, 0%, and it's still live. 0%. Wow. I definitely need to do a height chart, one of these. I don't know. Uh-oh. It ended. That sucks. Okay. That's okay. I'm gonna end the Instagram, and I have to open TikTok on here, and then I'm gonna have to, uh, put the other phone back on after the charge. All right, guys, I'm gonna be right back. Yo, I just had to switch phones. Welcome, guys. Everything good? Should be good. Thank you, Ricky, for the follow, and Sketchy. All right, we were adding blue. Yeah. little bit of blue. Make sure that it reads a little bit more like turquoise rather than this kind of toothpaste kind of looking green. Let me actually get the pen tool. Real, make some intense blue streak in that green, make it really pop. I think what I'm gonna have to do is do a black and white for the character art sections. Unfortunately, as much as I want to color everything, I just need to have to finish today, tonight, or I'm gonna sleep until it finishes. So this is gonna get done really quickly right now, but oh, we've been going on an hour. Oh man, see, I talk too much. That's why. Just gonna add these streaks of blue. All right, oh, pop blue, blue, and then we gotta get a little bit of that green action in there. With that turquoise. And I'm gonna go in one more time at these little spots I planted this intense turquoise, intensely saturated turquoise color. I'm gonna go with the fingertip tool, and we're gonna actually just kind of spread it out in the direction I was aiming it at. So it's going in this way. Put some right here. Fingertip tool. Spread it out. Alrighty. Okay, fingertip tool. I don't want it to be too much of a color shape. I want it to blend just a little bit. That's where that fingertip tool really comes in clutch. I think I make it at the end, kind of give a sense of harmony to it all. So, completion. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Uh-oh. Okay, okay. Sure that these are clear shape. And get rid of all this muddy color right here. Let's make it too much shadow. Out. Okay. Thank you for the follow, guys. Thank you for the hearts, as always. I definitely needed a high chart. Okay, yeah, this is actually for the pitch book. This is for my pitch book for this comic, manga. And this is a main cast sheet. Actually, now that I look at the height, I don't know if they're that tall, to be honest. 3 feet? That's a huge pug. A pug that's 3 feet tall? That's freaking huge. But he's a hell pug. So maybe it makes sense. And then you got Soccer is 6'6". That's kind of crazy. I imagine it'll be shorter. Kogan 7 feet. Okay. Let's see that. Senbai, his hair makes him fucking the tallest one here, but he's actually he's a little taller than Soccer. I wouldn't say it's accurate, but it's okay. It's just, hey, looks pleasant. I wouldn't say it's 100% accurate. I'd put him more at 6 feet. I don't think he's beyond 6 feet. This guy, 6'2", 6'3", maybe. He is kind of 6'2". If this is the line, this would be like 6'4". And if this is the line, he's 6'6". For him, he goes all the way up here. He's 7 feet, bro. He's more than 7 feet. Kobe, you crazy. And then she's 6 feet tall. That's crazy. Lucy, she's 6 feet tall. Are you kidding me? Okay. Hey, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so did we finish? No, we did not. Let's keep going. Wrap it up, brother. I want to see this done. Right now. You don't know what a bad day is. You're gonna learn what a bad day is. That shit always makes me crack up. I always see that meme from that movie. I don't know what movie it is, but it's Russell Crowe. Oh, you don't know what a bad day is, but you gonna learn. You gonna know real soon. I don't know what he says. Shit cracks me up though. Okay. Spin this around. Makes sense. Yes. So that's shadow. Make sure you don't reach the parts. Okay, good. Uh-oh. A little bit of blush. Give it color, a little more redness. That's good. Cool. Let's keep going. We got all this other stuff to do. Come on now. Uh, cool, cool, cool. Showing. Covered by the dark color too much. Here. Hold up, guys. Oh, I'm gonna drink my tea. Oh, that was cold. I left for a bit. My bad. You're good, Nesh. Welcome back. All right. Almost done. When you plan to publish? Um, When I finish this pitch book, I'm gonna send it over to the company, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna want to release as soon as I can. But first, I gotta lock in the deal and make sure that the stories is real nice with the editor. Because I've been doing everything pretty much by myself. So I ultimately I'm going to end up working with somebody who's experienced in the industry, uh, you know, and we're gonna take a real look at the story and like change it up, fix it up, do what we need to do. So however long that process takes, my intention is to release this thing as soon as I can. It's gonna depend on the publisher and a lot of other factors. Same. What's your story about? Nash, what do you? So, what's your story called? I remember you said Lot was your character. LOWT. If you had to pick two series or two concepts that represent your story, so mine's is Men in Black meets fairy tales. What is yours meets what? You know, Dragon Ball Z meets Pokemon. I don't know. Like, how can you give me a tagline of your story? Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Well, it's basically off me. I went through a heck of a lot of stuff, even experienced most stories I made as well, sort of what I met people at me and forgiven. Sort of Seven Deadly Sins with the main character guys meets biblical aspects. So, okay, so Seven Deadly Sins, the anime, meets sort of biblical stories. Similar stories from the Bible. What do they call those? They call them. There's a term for that. For Bible stories, this is a term they use. It's a type of story. It's not necessarily like a page to page story. It's what's it called? I don't remember. Like not a sermon, but that's the only word I could think of. All right. Okay. It's not cooperating with me. Let's see here. Does it look better? Big eyes. Little eyes. Smaller eyes. What looks better? Big eyes. Little eyes. Ah, I'm okay with that. I think that fits. I'm okay with that. All right. We are pretty much done. All that I'm going to have now left to do is. So here's. It's actually lower that. Since we're done, doesn't matter. Just put down. Sort of seven deadly sins. Oh damn, I missed all your chat. Give me a second here. So I forgot them too. Lot is legit as a prince. And wants to be new ruler like his father, but a girl changed him to the point. The girl Mercy changed him, even if he's collecting souls, but it's crazy now. I ran the one shot for one dope. I did 16 pages in 1 week. Very dope. Feeling losing someone I love. Oh, rest in peace. God bless them. Maybe would have been finished, which I would have done. Well, don't think of it as getting done with your work, because it's not going to get done till you're satisfied with it. You want to look at your work that you do, that you're really working hard on, and you want to see sincerely, is this where I want it to be? Is this, in your eyes, good enough to be in? If it's just for you, that's okay. But if you're trying to like get published, there's a standard that you need to reach, and that's more important than just producing. It's more important than just producing the work. You will produce a lot of work, and it's good, but speed speed is not everything. It really is not. Quality is. Okay. We just gotta cut around. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get the lasso tool. Oh, that's creepy. I feel like one of these are a little off. It looks way better too. It looks so cool. Man, my motivation is better. I'm 30. I'm 30. It doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Just you gotta start to see like you're on an island and it's you and your work and you do that work. It doesn't matter what age you are on the island, you're on an island, you're stuck. You do the work that makes you feel, yeah, I put my heart and soul into this and this is a high quality work that I'm proud of. That's what it's about. And obviously you want to have work that helps other people. So that's the part where you're now off the island because you got to finish. I wouldn't worry what people think. I wouldn't worry about, because a lot of people, they don't realize that committing to something that's not visible, that you have to constantly imagine and develop and refine and design and build, that committing to something like that is nonsensical. And that, hey, you should be busy making kids, have kids, have a wife or a husband, or you should be doing your thing, doing this and doing that. The reality is they're not ahead of you in that way. In fact, that you're making something that is your baby, it is your child, and it's something that they also should be doing, but they actually chose an easier route. You get what I'm saying? They actually chose a route where it's like, damn, I just need to do X, Y, Z, follow the path that's been most walked, and just like get what I need to feel like secure in myself. Well, not everybody's is like that. Some people, they actually don't feel good until they have something that has some kind of legacy that they're creating, something bigger. So people that don't try to create something to have a legacy, and they think they're better than you in your life because they're ahead of you in all these things, like, I don't know, they have kids, they're a parent now, or they got a job that they hate, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Or they're making money, a lot more money than you. it it is irrelevant because you're dealing with the department of original quality art that's meaningful, and they're dealing with the department of just quantity, just stuff. And once you have that quality done and you put it out there in the world and you shine your light, people are going to come in. They're going to say, wow, what the hell is this? And then they're going to start wanting to give you quantity. They're going to start to give you some money for what you're doing. And the rest of that stuff, that they have, those people that put you down if they're out there, or if you're just projecting that, whatever it is, that the thought of that, the quantity part could always comes after the quality, but they got it backwards, and it has to do with a belief, a conviction in themselves and what they're doing, and the value that they could pull out from their soul. So that's much more important. That's actually the thing that everybody should be doing, following their calling, but opposed to following the calling, they're trying to survive, they're trying to get by, and they're trying to. It's this different kind of mindset. So don't put yourself down. I'm too old. I can't do this no more. You're on an island, and you're gonna die in a grave alone. You're not gonna take any of these people with you. They're not gonna care. You're gonna be with your God alone, with the the real creator of all things, right? The original source we're all from. You're gonna meet him alone or her alone, or it's not a he or she. It's beyond that, right? So you're gonna meet that person, that creator alone, and you have to answer for your own deeds, not anybody else's deeds. So forget these people that they have small minds. Like, the truth is, they're quantity based minds. They're not quality based minds. They think money equals quality. That's not true. I'm sorry, dude. You're gonna end up paying for the people who are actually producing quality. I might publish indie work. I don't know yet for now. A good thing for me, a mission. I'm married. He's been watching me flip and flop. I'm pushing out not to make a chore, but make it very bad. Just yeah, I know what you mean. No matter what age you are, no matter how much money you got in your bank or how much status you got in the world, what matters most is that you feel at home wherever you are. You have a peace within you that you can only give to yourself. If you don't learn that, then you're going to always be pleasing others to get a sense of that peace. And others isn't just people, others is also your demons, others is also the your beliefs of yourself, or the illusions of the ideas that have been put in your head. So you got a lot of that piece. It's very simple, but it requires a lot of decluttering your mind, your mental state. And realize like everything is a function of the imagination, and that the imagination actually, some people worry and abuse their imagination, and other people utilize their imagination and bring great things into this world. So if you ever feel like you're really just struggling and it's not fair and I'm scared and this, just know that it's actually you abusing your imagination, and you can easily shift. You can easily shift if you learn. Hey, I just got to keep this imagination power occupied with something grand, something that really captures like what I'm about, And that's why art is very useful, or invention, if you're like an inventor. Anything that requires that creative force is very useful to tap into. So, give permission to have your sanctuary now. not later. And as long as you do good in this world and do your best, you will have no regrets. No regrets. What the hell is going on here? It's like going all over the place. So right now, we are focused on going around these characters real quick. I have to figure out, is there a quicker way I can do this? Let me think about this. Is there a quicker way I can do this? Because all I gotta do is delete the background, not this main cast, all these line work stuff, but there's a lot of paint around them, and the original paper that I drew on is still there. So what we can do, let's see if we turn off all these and we just leave this layer. Okay. Uh-oh, her eyeballs. Let me put that down real quick. Okay. What if we did a paint bucket? Would that help speed this up? What happens? Nothing. Did anything happen? Hmm. Nope, nothing happened. Okay. So that didn't do anything. Let's see. What if we did subtract? We turned the layer proper options over here. There's subtract option. Where do I subtract? There's. Okay. So we subtract. Now we can see clearly these extra parts that I need to get rid of. That's in the way. All right. So then we wand tool, wand tool, wand tool. The wand tool. Let's get the big chunks out. More of that. Oh, they're yelling. Hold on. I gotta talk to them real quick. Hey, can you guys stop yelling? Hey, can you calm down? Do not yell. Loud. Oh man. Okay, I'm back. Hello. You spent a week working on this? Jesus, dead air. Fuck this. Never mind. Hey, Superbird. No, I've actually created this like about 3 years ago, and what I'm working on right now is the refinement of the digital process. So, I'll show you. The traditional version was this, and now Sorry, I have like a layer setting. Let me take off that real quick. Normal. And we'll put the line work, all that stuff real quick for you. So the original, like I showed you, was the traditional one back there. And that was done by hand. And Copics, ink, pencil, da. And this is the fixes I did. So now it looks very different. Quick comparison. See how bright these colors are, how the white is so sharp, and how things kind of like some of the line art needed some fixing, in my opinion. And that's what we did. Yeah. And when you say a week, you have to understand, I probably put in, I would say, 15 hours into this piece. 15 hours. So that's not a week. That's not even a whole day. But it's across a week. It's not something that should take a week in terms of actual hours of that week. This is something where it's like, okay, I'm fixing it up, cleaning it up, making it as best as it could possibly be. So I'm gonna go back to what I was doing. Subtract. It's all about premium quality. Wow, I got these characters I was made 2001. Love and Mercy is brand new, dope. Might need to adjust the some. This is true for that. Yeah, I ain't letting no more demons here, but I got it. All right. I don't know. I think the white looks good though. What are you talking about? Right now, I'm doing something to get all these black, originally these black outlines. You see these very bold outlines that are around the actual finished paint. These are artifacts from the traditional original piece that are conflicting with the finishes. So I'm just kind of reversing the color so it could stick out easily for me to kind of use the wand tool and go over it, and in one swoop get rid of it. So we got all that. We got to do Lucy real quick. Oh wow. Okay. Lucy seems easiest compared to the other ones. Almost there. Oh no. Huh? Huh? Yeah, and a little more, like, I'm just trying to get the big chunks, to be honest. I don't need to get all these little particles out of the way. So we got him. That's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, I get you. It's because I had to fix this guy's line art, Soccer, the purple hair dude, and some of the other line arts that I had to kind of make sure the digital wasn't so different than the rest of the piece. So I had to kind of fuse the traditional digital and find that middle ground, because it would just be too jarring. Okay. Why isn't it picking this one up? Okay, let's see. Delete. Let's hit delete. Okay, now let's put normal. Wait. See how that looks like now. Okay, this is just the colors. Relax. Okay. In here. Did it mess up anything? I don't think so. Okay. Subtract again. Oh, that helps. What panel is this one on? Hold on a second. There is not noob artists on Kick. I don't see people that know the fundamentals like you do. Thank you, dude. Shoot. Motherfucker. It's gonna scan the whole thing now. Wait, give me a second. 2 years later. Da-da-da. I gotta zoom in and get it. We gotta get T-Bone. This thing's so laggy. I'm screen playing right now. I mean, there's a lot of noobs artists on here. I'm screen playing right now. Uh, you know, with the idea of like noob artists, for me, what I would consider, I guess, someone who's a noob would be someone who's not trying to be original. Like they can be actually really freaking good at drawing, but all they draw is things that they didn't create. So for me, when I see those people, I say, wow, you're really technical, you're really good, you have high quality fundamentals, like you're saying. But all you do is draw Naruto, bro. Like all you're drawing is Boruto, or Deku, over and over. All you do is draw faces, bro. You know. So for me, that's somebody who's just like he's a maker or she's a maker. They're not really like creators. They're just manufacturing shit. Like, yeah, I got this. Look at this high level. It's kind of lame to me. Um, but if I see somebody who's a noob, I guess in your eyes, but is making something original, that's a big difference. They're more bold, and they're more willing to go into the jungle and figure out what the hell they're working on. That could contribute. Okay, let me see if I clear this now. What would happen? Nope. Okay, that's weird. It's not. Ah, there it is. There it is. Okay. So off. So I actually got to go in there. No, that's not it. Oh, okay. You know what? We're gonna use the lasso tool. It's easier. What the hell is it doing now? You're writing a screenplay right now. Very cool, Superbird. Man, no noob here. We better be getting anime. Yeah, God willing, dude. Seeing how you drew them, that is. Oh, I'm working on perspective at the moment. Good, yeah. I recommend you check out Framed Ink for perspective, and it's actually really easy. It's really easy. Don't. Here's something I need to tell y'all. Something I learned, and I wish I learned earlier. Don't think your teachers really are so much better than you and that they apply all these fundamentals exactly correct all the time. That's We're not here. We're not mathematicians here, right? We're artists. So what are we doing? We're creating and making things look in a certain way. Have this perspective is when you hear people say, "Oh, that's not correct." There's no such thing in art as correct. What are you talking about? Judgment is the opposite of creativity. You need to learn to balance the two. That's what it means to go and learn from a teacher. But if you're ingesting all this bad programming of, oh, I have to have exactly a grid for a 2 point perspective. I need to put a grid down. I need to have the two vanishing points meet like this and this. Use a little bit of that, but don't rely on it, and don't think in terms of like, did I do it correct? No. You have to think in terms of, does it look right to me in this perspective? Am I able to play with this? So use that knowledge, but don't let it poison you, right? Don't let that knowledge make you uncreative, where you're now just applying a formula like a mathematician. So keep in mind, it's really important you flex that creative muscle, especially when it comes to the technical stuff, because there's a lot of solutions that haven't been written down in any textbook. And it's just about you figuring it out. So a lot of it is figuring out your way. That doesn't mean to neglect studying, but it does mean to not become programmed and ingest that programming of, oh, they have more knowledge than me, that there's a correct way to do this, there's a wrong way to do this, and it's only true to a certain level. It's not really true in reality. So you're saying, as long as they are working on something original, they're testing themselves or pushing them, it's okay. But they do Naruto, they're new themselves. Earlier, I was saying that people who are focused on just getting good at looking good with their art and not doing anything original, like they're just drawing Boruto or they're just drawing like this Batman, whatever it is, that isn't originally theirs, that isn't from their imagination. It's just like they're looking at a reference and then they're redrawing that same exact image. That's not a creative. That's a maker. That's a manufacturer. That's somebody who's in a long line in a factory, just following steps, copying, pasting. That's a different thing. And so a lot of people will see those people who could do that at a high level. They thinking, oh, that guy's really freaking good. Well, let me see his original stuff. Let me see what he came up with, she came up with their own intelligence, imagination, and mind, not just their know-how. You get me? So for me and for a lot of other creators, those people are the real noobs. Somebody who's not as good at drawing as that person, but is able to create something that's unique and original and passionate, is always going to be better and more interesting in my book. It's like comparing realistic art, somebody who does like realistic art, and it's beautiful to look at. But then you see someone who does like something really abstract and out of pocket, like it's so different and so original. That's way more interesting to me. Maybe some people like, oh, look at the way he did this realism. It looks exactly like the photo. Okay, that's fun for you. I mean, that's cool. That's your thing. Everybody has different values. But for me, originality is very important when it comes to art. And development as an artist. Yes, instead of learning from Lumi's head, an actual reference. I don't understand. We are talented, but with helping each other, teach each other more. Yeah, good. Take it. Yeah, and you do master studies, and whenever you do a master study, guys, your intention isn't just to be as good as that master of art that you're studying from. but always to try to go beyond, to figure out how they did what they did, or at least have an idea that you made that lets you get to their result somehow. And you go and you take what you like, and now you put that in your own, toolbox, and you start to play with that, and you play with different things. You play with different shape language if you're doing cartoons or comics or anime, etc. And you come out with something pretty unique, I think. And I really do believe that the story, though, is really important, because you can have art that's gorgeous, but the story's like whack. You're gonna have people who are just admiring it for its beauty, but that's it. That's all superficial. The story's like where the soul, the heart is of the characters and their world. So you really want to make sure that you have something that you believe in is worth working on. Spending, you have to really love it. You have to really love it. You have to tap into that passion. Okay. I'm gonna just kind of lightly go over it just a little bit, just to kind of make it a little more darker, certain parts. And I'm actually, say I'm actually done. We don't need to add anymore, actually. Okay. So I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna just clean real quick, and we're gonna be finished. I think I was trying to show you Superberg last time that I actually drew this by hand, because you were saying, "Why are you tracing?" And I was like, "What the hell? This guy thinks I didn't draw this? What do you mean?" For me, when I go and put it in the digital process, it's just about like bringing it to a level where I'm satisfied. And so that means I'm going over my work and refining the line art where I can. It's awesome that it's a good thing I put the line art in a different layer, so I could just quickly erase without having to zoom in too much. Cool. 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 All these extra spots that are sticking out, they got to go. They gotta go. I'm definitely not gonna be doing this treatment for all the other pages. The other page, I'm just gonna do line art for the ones that are remaining, and knock it out, bro. Because this whole section, still gotta do all the line art, and on top of that, I need to review the writing portion of the pitch book a little more. I need to like fix the text placement. So we not sleeping. Another day. No sleep. Till we finish. Or maybe a little bit of sleep. A little bit of sleep. A little bit of sleep is good. Oh, I didn't know. Since I've seen the other artists, there are a lot of understanding of fundamentals on kick. Like I've seen the artist reference anime without understanding how the torso works when it bends and stuff. Yeah, I get you. A really simple book that will help speed up your ability to do poses and move the torso like you're talking about. There's a book called Figure Drawing by Michael Hampton. He breaks it all down into very simple shapes. One example of the things I took from his book was this. In between, okay, I'm just gonna put it and I'm gonna erase it. But I'm gonna lock in the shape right here. So you see this connection between the two eyebrows, right? So it's this shape right here. That shape and how you stretch that shape makes for his is covered, his middle part. It makes for a different type. It's a different type of face that you can manipulate by moving that shape around. You move the eyes, the eyebrows further, and there's other shapes on the face, on the body that he kind of gives you that could give you like a good sense of like, okay, does this look structured or does it just look too wild? You know, it's too inconsistent. So Michael Hampton, Figure Drawing, very useful book. And then another book that I highly recommend. I actually used to do caricature art when I was younger, um, for Downtown Disney, but I wasn't really good at it. But I'm really grateful for that experience that I got because it allowed me to learn how to push my design of my characters and different uh, things, learn how to exaggerate faces and make different facial expressions, and learn the relationship between the different parts of the face, you know, and how you can stretch and squeeze and push together to create different faces. So many unique characters. There's a book I highly recommend as well called The Mad Art of Caricatures. And that will kind of give you a little bit of a quick dose of the fundamentals that you need to kind of get going. But don't get carried away with trying to memorize, and unless you're interested, I wouldn't worry so much about that. I guarantee you that Oda, the most successful comic creator, manga creator in history at the moment, uh, his fundamentals, like, they were not there in the beginning for sure. And for a lot of the manga guys, they were young peoples, 23, 20, 17, young people doing comics at such a huge stage, but their work wasn't like fine art. You know, it was something that developed, and even now he probably doesn't even have time to go and polish up his art. He just had to stay in the kitchen and keep cooking, you know, and he got better at making you know, from shrimp to lobster, man. Now he's making art that's like crazy, out of this world. And it took time. It took time to get there. And it was just through him working on a project, which was one of the greatest shortcuts for getting better, is you choose a project that you want to get done, that you want to share with people, or even just for yourself, it's fine. And you focus in on that, and you overcome the challenges that come up as you go on that project, and you're gonna see your experience points is just gonna rack up so fast. You really learn a lot quicker, and use books and all that and videos, whatever you need to reference and to learn. No problem. There's no shame in that. You know, the only thing that's shameful is that you don't put your heart into it. You know, that's the actual thing. You just like, I'm just gonna finish this. I'm gonna just put this out here. Here you go. Do you like it? No, no. It's about if you like it. So put your heart into it until you like it, and who cares about what others say? You know, getting all these little spots that are around them. Look at all that. Just look at this. Look at all this around his hair. All these little things that I wouldn't have seen. Some of it shows, but I need to make sure it doesn't show in the final print. So let's erase. I think some of this is okay, but get rid of these little particles right here. Alrighty. Okay, how long did we spend so far? We actually spent 2 hours. We did 2.5 hours right now. We're going on 2.5 hours. I don't know if the live stream, yeah, it's still running. I've been up since your last stream this morning. Wow. Oh, that's funny. Uh, um, yeah, I went to sleep around 4 a.m. I got off 3:30 and I was just like, or 2:30, I think, and I just was like, hell no, I can't do this anymore. I need to sleep, and I slept like a baby. And then I woke up kind of late. And we are finished. Finished. Oh, I didn't know since I seen other artists that are lack understanding fundamentals on Kick. Like I seen the artist reference anime without understanding how the torso. Okay, I already read that. Okay. We is almost done. I can feel it. I can taste it. It's almost here. Ah, just about good. Good. Oh my lord, what happened here, bro? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Uh, okay, so that's some weird squiggly looking line right here. Yeah, I learned though a lot from doing this project. I learned that since the end result is gonna be digital, right? It's gonna have traditional underneath, but digital. The best thing to do is stop traditionals, your traditional part of the process, at line work, and make sure those lines are dark. That you're using really dark ink. Otherwise, it's gonna read a little blue, grayish kind of color, which is why I had to go over this. It's fucking annoying. I had to like essentially redraw what I did. That's why a big part of it took a long time. But next time I know, like, no, just you need to make sure that the traditional has clean, dark lines. You're not using no water-based ink. Use the deleter ink that they have for the dip pens. And you're only taking it to a black and white level. And if you want to color it and you want to have that traditional texture, what I'm going to do next time is once I scan the line art into the computer and I fixed it up in the computer, now I'm going to put it here on the screen, and then I'm going to put a piece of paper over and just go with the Copic markers over directly on the screen. And then I'm going to scan that in and use it like a tone, like not a screen tone, but essentially like that. I'm going to stretch it, fit it in, and then I'm going to spread the color around because I'm going to add digital color on top of it anyways. So it's not as relevant to have the whole thing originally colored if the end result is going to be digital. And if you do originally color it, well, I'm sorry, you're going to have to erase, do line art again. You're going to have to go around it. It's a pain in the ass, right? Unless you stop in at just, I'm going to just do it completely traditional. Like I have some pieces I'll show you that's completely traditional. Like this one. I draw sometimes, but I'm not disciplined since I be multitasking. I get you. I'm more of a writer than an artist, but I was like, you know what? Writing is easy. That's what I told myself. So I focused in on just the art. And I've always been drawn to like, you know, studying human nature and philosophy and asking big questions. So I felt like writing for me, I wasn't too concerned that I could just learn it as I go, which is what happened. And art was what I really wanted to make sure that I could bring it up to a level where I'm like, yes, this is it. I'm looking at this. There's things I want to fix. I actually didn't touch this up digitally. This is 100% traditional. 100% traditional. I think the only thing digital is I added a texture to the background and faded it out. And it looks cool. But comparing this to this, which I'm going to show you in its finished form, since we are finally done. We got rid of all the big spots. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We can now put normal. Woo! This looks like, hey, we're going to make you a freaking anime. How do the characters look like? Oh, here you go. You know what I'm saying? You know, you ever see the anime concept art where it's like really clean and crisp for the animators to know, like, oh, how do we turn this character around and all that? They're called turnarounds. This is very useful for design. This is cool. I love it. I love my raw, sketchy, traditional style. If I had more time, I would actually go over it with digital. I would like push it a little more, but I don't have time, unfortunately. I like how it is. I'm okay with that. Here's some of the pencil work. Yeah, writing is complicated to learn, but I would say art is much more difficult. It is much more difficult to learn, and I studied writing in school for a little bit, but then I fully committed to art at some point, and writing afterwards became something where I'm analyzing movies, I'm looking at books that I can read. A good writing book for screenplays, especially, it's really popular. It's called, I have it here. What is it called? Writing for the Screen. I'll show you. It's a college accredited book. Like they give it to you in writing class. This one. Here's some good writing books. It's called Screenplay by Building Story Through Character, Jules Selbo. This is pretty useful, especially if you're trying to do movies. And then this one is called Story Trumps Structure. Very useful book. It really helps you understand like that, you know, the main character, they really need to be the medicine for the story world. And it has to be this macro and microcosm where the world of your story has an issue that the main character is the thematic medicine to, right? So, One Piece, you have a world that's completely oppressed by this dystopian government in the ocean, right? On the ocean that, you know, has all this corruption, and they limit freedom. And the medicine to that, the main character is a freedom-loving, and he sees the world like a playground. And he wants to spread that, right? And he wants to have fun. He wants to be free. So it's this polar opposite because he's the medicine to it. But he balances it out by giving you another dude who's also loves freedom in this world of control. But that guy, he's actually selfish. So he loves freedom, but he loves greed. He's a greedy person, Blackbeard. So you'll have these... these characters, they represent an archetype, they represent a theme, and they're answers to a core question of the story world you created. What is the issue with this story world? Too much control. There's too many control bitches running around. What's the remedy to that? People who love freedom and are willing to pursue it no matter the threat and influence others, inspire others, right? So there you have that dynamic. Story trumps structure. Creating characters is okay, but you really don't need this stuff, guys. Like the truth is, writing is really fucking easy. I'm not even joking. Especially with like, if you look up Brandon Sanderson, he's really good at teaching. He's really good at breaking it down, especially when it comes to like power system, especially when it comes to different genres. He's really good at making you have a good sense and like calibrating you to how to tell your story in a way that doesn't meander or just like go on without a clear, efficiency to it. Brandon Sanderson. Yeah. Yeah, Super Spurg. If you are still young, I recommend you dive in. If you're trying to do manga and comics, I recommend that bite the bullet, get into art, and start getting really into it. Your writing, look, bro, your favorite anime, your favorite manga, you want to write it down? It's called, okay, so one book is called Story Trumps Structure. Story Trumps Structure. Great title. It's by Stephen James. And I'm going to give you a little passage in there for you that's going to help you. Tension is key. At the heart, to uncover the plot of your story, don't ask what should happen, but what should go wrong. Right? To uncover the meaning of the story, of your story, don't ask what the theme is, but rather what is discovered. Characters making choices to resolve tension, that's your plot. If your protagonist has no goal, makes no choices, has no struggle to overcome, you have nothing. You have no plot. Okay? At the heart of your story is tension. And at the heart of tension is unmet desire. So at its core, every story is about a character who wants something but cannot get it. As soon as she gets it or fails ultimately in her quest to do so, the story is over. If readers don't know what the character wants, they won't know what the story is about. It's very simple. So Story Trumps Structure by Stephen James, and the other one for screenplay is by Jewel Selbo. And then the third one, last one, is called Creating Characters by Stephen James. I don't really care for that one, to be honest. It's probably useful. It's just ain't nobody got time for that. I've been up since your last stream. Oh, you're still here, Ness. I appreciate you. Okay, we have finished, guys. Woo! We need to clap. We did it! I'm here looking for anything I could change. Okay, the numbers. Lucy is not 6 feet tall, dude. She's not 6 feet tall. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We got to change that. We're going to have to change these numbers. That's what we're going to have to do. So we're going to decide together right now how tall they are. She is a hybrid fairy tale human, right? Even though she looks pure human. That's because the human gene in the story is like more dominant, typically. Like this guy, he looks more of a half demon or something because of his sharp teeth, or this guy because of his horns. So maybe hybrids are just freaking taller. Should we just keep it? What do you guys think? Should we make it so Lucy is 6 feet tall? And, like, canonize that in the story? I'm more comfortable with animation. Very dope. I do animation, but it's done comic books before. I went horribly, but it was my first time. Hey, I understand it completely. It's a lot of work and dedication. A lot of hats you have to wear to do comics. With animation, you're focused on, making that one picture come to life, like move and, make little cool subtle movements. And it's really difficult. I was in animation before I was in illustration. And I was like, this ain't for me, man. This shit is like too tedious. I need to tell a whole story. So that's dope. I'm more comfortable with animation. Yeah, I feel it. Hey, Nesh is still here. What was I saying? I was ranting on. So what do you guys think? Should Lucy be 6 feet tall? Or should we make her like normal height? Remember, she is a hybrid. This is her dad. Okay? What do you guys think? All right, I'm gonna decide in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna leave it as is. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not gonna do that. So we're gonna change this to. Let's do it. So this is gonna be. We just gotta raise it up more. That's all we gotta do. Is just raise up the number, so we don't actually have to redraw anything. That's great news. Wonderful news. We just let's locate where that layer is. It's over here. Okay, cool. We're just gonna move it up just a smidgen. So let's get this. And we're gonna do the same actually for this. Control T. It's gonna look a little off, but at least they'll be like, wait, how tall is she? And then that way I could go in there and be like, actually, she's taller than you think. Oh. What panel is it on? Wait, hold up, guys. It's not giving me the right. What layer is it on? I mean. Hey, what the hell? Okay, zoom in. Let me just click it. Okay, so this is the actual layer it's on. And we're gonna just move it up a little bit. Move it up a little bit. We're gonna control T. They both kind of the same since I've seen animation use manga panel for storyboarding in my server. You mean they took like from the anime and they just put that into their manga and traced over it? Or what do you mean? She very tall. Yeah, she's a very tall woman. She's not 6 feet though. I'll tell you that. She's not 6 feet. I think we need to keep them. She'd probably be 5'10". Soccer could be 6 feet. He could be 6 feet. He's actually a little taller because of his hair. Lucy, she's got to be under 6 feet. Sorry. Same thing. We got everybody else's feet. Kogan is 7 feet tall. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know many giants like this, but hey, he's technically in the military force, right? So they kind of have to have strong, tall people, I would say. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Let's just move this up as well. Control T. That way we could kind of keep it a little ambiguous. Okay, we're done. No, we're not. Okay, and then this is the last one. We'll move up. Oh, too much, too much. Sick. And we are done. So happy to finally be done with this. This took forever. Learned a lot. I learned a lot of shortcuts though. I'm really, really grateful that I had this experience. Okay. Alrighty, we're done. Appreciate y'all. We still got way more to do, of course. We're locking this one in. This is out of it. No more. This is the pencil work I did for the cover. Here's the cover. What up, Ion Draws? I kind of wanted to change up the lettering a little. Girls in Japan, average height is 5'3", I think. Yeah, Lucy's not in Japan. It takes place in a fictional world. She is in the new world. The new and the old world. That's where they're from. Okay. So anything else? That I need to, for this section, I need to fix the text and alignment. For this one, I need to fix the content of the text and the text alignment. For these, I originally wanted to do digital touch up, but I don't have time. And I got to do the table of contents here. And then for these, I also wanted to do digital touch up, but I don't have time for the comic section. And for these ones over here, we gotta just arrange them and do line work and just like see what we can do. This is the section that I need to finish right here. These 12 to 17. This is gonna go by quicker because I don't have time to be as perfectionistic as I like. And like I said, I'll probably just stop at line art and go to the next one and keep going. Now it's not just going to be images that you're looking at here. It's isekai. Oh, okay. Iseki? No, it's not isekai. It's a fictional world. It's like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. It's its own world. You know, totally different world. Takes place in a no video game. Is isekai? That's a video game thing, right? Isekai. It's not no video game. They're not like stuck in a video game. It's where they're from, the world they're from. All right, it is 4:56, and I gotta go pray and take a little break. I mean, different world, I think. Oh, I thought isekai means like a video game, a person trapped in a video game world story. There was a section I need to finish this stuff and the other stuff I've showed you guys. And after I finish that, which is, I don't know, I have until tomorrow, essentially. Tomorrow is really the last day I can, 11:59, Monday, that's it. I can't go any past that. After that, I have to go and print it. I really wanted to add the power system section because there's like a really methodical power system I created for the story. And I wanted to add a little more story world lore, like tell you the different groups and highlight the main bad guys and good guys of groups that exist. I really want to put that in there, dude. But I gotta do this before I do that. That's not a priority, unfortunately. That's not so much time. I actually drew it by hand, but I didn't get the chance to show you guys, unfortunately. It's not fair. I don't have enough time. There's never enough time. What up, Jermaine? You guys came towards the end of the stream. Been going on about 3 hours on Kick and YouTube and Twitch and Twitter. And we're going to have to shut it down, go pray, take a little break, and knock out 12, page 12 to 17. Okay. It's not a isekai. It's not a Mary Sue like Hunger Games, that other movie. Yeah, Hunger Games takes place in its own world. So yeah, it's just, they're called fictional worlds. They're fictional story world. Like One Piece is a totally made up world. It has nothing to do with Earth. You know, I mean, as far as we know. But it has nothing to do with the real world. Even though there's a lot of symbolism in that story. And it's probably low-key telling us what really happened, if you think about it. But that's another topic for another day. What up, Sam? I want to make my own fictional world. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is the best thing you can do, is make your own unique universe that you can pull characters out of naturally and not just plant like a sticker your characters into that world. You want to create organic characters, make sure that you create that story world for those organic characters to arise out of naturally, right? You go in with the politics, the world setting, you figure out what's going on. You don't need to know too much. You just need to know enough to where you have a clear problem that exists in the DNA of your story world, and the characters will naturally begin to arise from you identifying that problem. right? And a simple example I could give you in my story is that humans, a long time ago, used to be able to see fairy tales, but something happened to where they can no longer see fairy tale people. And it has to do something with their soul. And it has to do with the fact that their soul, the weight of their soul, according to this secret government called the cloud, their weight of their soul is too low. So they're not able to see fairy tales because the weight of their soul is only 21 kilograms. And it's really sensitive. And if they wake up, it might be dangerous. It might change things. So this secret government called the cloud that's up in the sky makes sure that humanity stays asleep to the truly magical world they live in. And that gives me so much to play with now. So now we have fairy tales, we have humans that can't see them. Okay, what are the fairy tales? Are they just like monsters? No, they're actually like people with families. And guess what? There's actually a territory of fairy tales and their side, and there's a human territory, right? You got two sides, and the humans can't go beyond this wall that's in between, right? And the fairy tales, they're having hard lives because the cloud makes it harder for them to unite, and all these different fairy tales, they're coming over, sneaking over the wall to try to get a better chance at life, and they have to pretend to be human. Bam, 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 bam. Keeps growing. It just keeps growing and growing. That's where you want. You want to find the it factor for your story that you could just keep pulling more and more from that thread to generate a whole story world with characters that feel their problems are rooted in that world and reflect the real world. You get what I'm saying? But I'm focusing on one right now. I have 6 screenplays and they all are unfinished. Remember, quantity is never over quality. It's good that you're able to do that, but try to focus in on one quantity wise. Make sure it's the best that it can be. And you're going to take all that knowledge you learned from doing that one thing to all the other ones. Okay? Don't allow too much judgment in the beginning. Don't be your editor, right? Just be your creative, have your creative hat on and just go. Fire off, create. Then put on the editor hat, put the judgment. Then you can go and you edit it and you go and you do back. Just like what I did over here, right? We created the piece. We identified the issues that were in the piece. And we spent the time necessary to bring it to a premium level. Okay? All right, guys, I actually got to go. I'm getting stuck. I appreciate y'all being here, hanging out with me. Would you rather live in a hunter or One Piece world? Man, I think I'd choose One Piece just because the Chimera ants are terrifying. I would hate to wake up one day and have a Chimera ant freaking on my porch just staring at me like, I'm going to eat you, So I would rather pick One Piece. Because, hey, man, there's some islands that are actually not having to deal with any crime. Okay, I'll see you guys. Later, Sam. Later, Ion. Later, Nash. I'll see y'all. And later, Super Spurg. I'll see you guys. Appreciate you guys joining. And remember, you guys got to really believe in your work, believe in what you're doing. And quality, the time it takes to get to quality, it does take time, but it's worth it. Okay? Don't worry about your mistakes. Just keep focusing on doing your best quality art, quality storytelling. The quantity part of this will come later. Don't worry about that. All right? You're on an island alone. Do the thing. Do the art that you're here to do. Forget about everything else. And just focus on quality. Okay? Quality. Alrighty. Later, guys. Have a good one. I'll be back real soon, okay? Lates.